Do you find in your life, this is a quiz I give a lot of people, more people you know personally talking about God than you did, say, 10 years ago?
Yes, and I am that person. I mean, I was an atheist.
Tucker Carlson interviews an ex-atheist, and he admits that he became a Christian, and he's realizing that society has completely changed over the past 10 years. Now, so many people are bold and proclaiming the faith of Jesus. So let's get right into it, guys. Shout out to Tucker Carlson.
I mean, I was an atheist 10 years ago.
What happened?
I had my daughter.
Yeah.
That's, as I found God the day my wife delivered our first child, and which is a fairly common experience. I know other people who have had the same thing, were atheists until that moment. And
what changed in you?
So, all right. So it was basically, so I met it's a fairly normal story, but I met my wife and we got engaged, and then we got married. So my wife's like the most amazing chick. She's just great. And I know it's always a thing to say. It's like, my wife's better than your wife.
But did he just call his wife chick? But by the way, my wife is the most amazing. Sorry, whatever you think.
But everybody who knows my wife, I don't mean you, I've never met your wife, but she is better. And just kidding.
No, I don't hear people compliment their spouses enough, actually. I don't think everyone always says that. I wish people said that more often.
Well, I do. It's not me. She's really just the best. Everyone who knows her would agree. I mean, like, it's just like, she's like the most amazing woman. She's just gorgeous, and she's really super smart, and she's really sweet and kind. And she's just like, she puts everyone above herself. She's like, I really hit the lottery with her. And I was never, I was like habitually single. I was never a relationship guy.
Yes.
And I never really wanted to get married. I kind of always had this view of like, women are trying to change you or trying to control you. Every girl that I ever dated always wanted a relationship, and then they always wanted me to not do this or not do that. And
yes.
My wife was she just had my back. She just always like wanted to make my life better. And she did. And I fell in love with her.
Wow.
By the way, that's all a guy is looking for, is someone to feel seen and supported. So if you want someone to fall in love with you, just support them.
I was like, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this woman. And so then we, when she got pregnant, I was just very excited. It was like, you just got married, got a baby on the way. I was just like, this is the best. Like, I'm really excited to do this. And I was right. It was the best thing I've ever done. And so the day that she was over her due date. So then they scheduled to come in to induce pregnancy, because they don't let you go too long these days, which I guess is maybe they're right about that. I don't know. But anyway, so we go to the hospital.
They get the Pitocin out.
Yes, that's right. So we're at Lenox Hill Hospital on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. And by the way, I should add, just leading into this story, I had been like a militant atheist when I was younger. I had started to open up my mind a little bit to being like, I was seeing some of the holes in the atheist arguments, but I still was not like a believer in God.
Yeah.
And so we were at Lenox Hill Hospital, and this was the first one. This is how it started. Was the anesthesiologist came in to give my wife an epidural, and at Lenox Hill, or at least this guy, they asked me to leave the room. They said they ask the fathers to leave the room when they do it, because they're putting a spinal thing in, and they have to be very, very precise.
It's horrifying
to
see it,
right.
Yeah.
So like, and they don't want, I guess they don't want you there to react, because then she might react.
Exactly right.
And so they don't want to. So I go at, and
she can't see what's happening.
Right. She can't see, but she could see you seeing.
I think it's funny how so many atheists think that there's so many holes in Christianity and religion, but if they took a step back to look at all the holes in atheism, they might be pretty shocked as well.
I want people with a straight poker face who have seen this a lot of times and are not watching it happen to their wife and baby, So it's a reasonable ask. But so I go out, and I'm in the hallway in the maternity ward at Lenox Hill Hospital. And it just hit me. It was like, for the first time, I guess I had not really thought about this. I was just so excited to get my family started. But for the first time, it hit me that like something could go wrong, and that I could leave here alone. Like something could go wrong, that I could lose the baby, I could lose my wife, and it's totally out of my control. And like, as this started hitting me, I started like really getting emotional. And it's like, I'm out there, and I'm like, I'm crying in the hallway of this maternity ward. And immediately I just started talking to God. And I just started not just talking to God, but like negotiating with God. And I was just like, like, dear Lord, if you make sure that they're okay, I'm going to do, like, I'm going to be the best husband and the best father, and I will do this, and like all the different things in your life.
Had you ever prayed before?
No, never once in my life.
Wow.
And it all, like all the things that you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing that well. Like I was like, okay, I'll clean this up. I'll call my mom more often. I'll do this thing. And so anyway, so I just started like praying to God, and not just praying, but like negotiating. So anyway, everything was fine with that. But my wife, this was the first of many times. There were a bunch of complications in the pregnancy. Everyone came out okay, thank God. But so I ended up talking to God a lot that day. And then just like, as the days went on.
It's so interesting. It's organic.
Well, that's
a lifetime of not believing, and then you just start
And so
praying.
this is almost like what intellectually, converted me later, was I was like, hey, what the hell was that? I mean,
Everyone, like I said, with the other guy, children points you to something greater than yourself. There's always something pointing us to greater than ourselves, but children does the trick for a lot of people because it's out of your control.
I can't look back and just ignore that. And there was one, like, again, I'm almost a little uncomfortable talking about these things because I like talking about things where I have like a real tight argument that I can prove is irrefutable.
This is a more profound argument, actually.
But it was something where I was like, look, so in the moment when it was really all on the line and out of my control, I wasn't thinking maybe God exists. I knew for a 100% certainty, unlike nothing I've ever known in my life, that not only did I know that God existed, but I knew what he wanted from me. Like, I knew what my negotiating power in this was, is that
Wow. Funny how that works. It's almost like it's inherently inside of us. Huh.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I could promise I'll be a good person. So not only did I know God existed, I knew that God wanted me to be a good person. And look, this is something that people who have found God know, and people who don't believe in God maybe will not accept. But there is something to when you open yourself up like that to God, you find out that he's real. And it's not like he speaks to you or he hallucinates. I don't like see a fiery bush and the words of God started talking, but like he fills you. Like when you open yourself.
Yeah, I wonder what like religion he believes in though. That's a key characteristic because a lot of people think that being good is good enough, but that doesn't always amount to everything, as we know.
That to it, you get filled by it, and there's no more debate in your mind over whether that's a real phenomenon or not. You're like, and any more than like if I were to leave here and someone were to be like, "Do you believe in Tucker Carlson?" And like I'd be like, "No, I know for certain." Like I know for a certainty that Tucker Carlson exists.
With him, yeah.
I was just with him. It's like that, and so it was. And it changed my life, and ever since I regularly pray to God. It's something I'm conscious of every single day.
No way.
Every day. And always, I don't even pray exactly. I don't ask for things ever. I ask for one thing ever from God, which is that my wife and my kids are healthy and safe. It's the only thing I ever pray for. I don't ask for anything. The only other thing that I do is I express gratitude. God, like I just say thank you for everything I have. So that's the extent of it. But I think that I cannot overstate how much I think that's made me a better person.
Really?
Yeah, it's very, very good for you to constantly remind yourself how lucky you are that you have all the things that you have. It's very easy to get away from that, and that's where you ruin your inner happiness, your inner joy. Is if you start taking the things you have for granted. Because once you
100%. I just hope that he knows that Jesus paid the price so that you could be saved because you're never going to be good enough. So amazing. And 100%, there's so many things to be thankful for and filled with joy because when you're thankful, it's literally impossible to be filled with anxiety. Anyway, I thought that was amazing. So I encourage you to go to Jesus today. Know that he loves you. He's longing to have a relationship with you. In the description below, you can click a link to help you to decide to follow Jesus for the first time. Do that today.